3 ways narcissistic abuse is affecting you, and you may not even know this is what's happening. Watch this video. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Candace. I've been working as a spiritual coach for the last 12 years. I also run my membership program called The Truth Room, where you get access to me every week. You get all of my online courses, you get mini courses, and you get my deep dive hot seat in level 3. I also do one-on-one coaching, and I do my deep dive into 8 weeks with me called Inner Work. So check out those options if you're looking to have a coach. Moving on though. So today it's important because I've been doing a lot of videos on narcissism, and I'm doing that because I have a plethora of clients who are in it, right? And trying to get out of it and dealing with withdrawal symptoms and obsessive thoughts and rumination and all the other things that happen. And so I want to tell you some of the things that are happening if you're in one of these relationships, and you may not even realize it's because you're in one of these relationships. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, and this is hard to listen to, especially if you're in it, but the weaker you become, the stronger they get. And what I mean by that is your body starts to weaken, your emotions, the autoimmune issues get worse, right? The anxiety, the depression, the exhaustion, the chronic fatigue. All of these things are because you are being weakened by their control and their overt manipulation or covert manipulation. And over time, with this little slight gaslighting and this little slight criticisms all day long, we're like, wait a minute, that was kind of rude. Did they mean it? Yes, they did. Over time, what this does is it breaks down your nervous system, and it breaks down your own entire system, where you start to get weaker in the way that you think, in the way that you feel. You may feel like you're not inspired anymore. Things don't feel as good as they used to. You're not as happy. Joy feels like it's far away. This is because you're in probably an overt abusive relationship. And if it's covert, then you know what I'm talking about. Covert is so much easier to detect because you're like, oh God, they're enraged, or oh my gosh, they're controlling. But covert is those slight things over time that break your body down. It's not your fault. It's not like, oh, if I was stronger, I could deal with it. If I'm healthier, I can go back in. No, because what I like to remind people is, if you have an amazing immune system and you drink poison, you're going to have effects of the poison. It doesn't matter how strong you are, you will be broken down. A lot of times clients will come to me and they're like, okay, I've taken some time away and I've done some deep healing. Maybe I can go back to my ex now and I'll be all right because I'm stronger. And I remind them of drinking poison. No matter how strong you are, even if I got into a toxic relationship right now, knowing all the tools I have and all the boundaries and all the things, if I were to allow it, because I let down my boundaries and I forgot about my discernment and I forgot everything that I know and everything I've been through, I would still be affected by the poison. Because intoxicating things are toxic, and poison is something you're like, oh, that looks fun. No, it's poison. So that's the first thing we have to understand is, the weaker you become, the stronger they are. This is why they try to make you have self-doubt, which is the second thing I want to talk about. Your massive amount of self-doubt about who you are, what you want in life, where you're headed, what you think, your perception might be off. All these things are an effect of being in a narcissistic relationship, in a relationship where you're not being nurtured or nourished in the way that you need because someone is questioning your boundaries or telling you that you're just selfish or telling you that you're just too sensitive. All the time, you start to feel like, wow, something's happening to me. You start doubting yourself, your reality, your perceptions of reality. Maybe they were just being nice. Maybe it was just me being oversensitive because of my past wounding. Stop. We are hypersensitive to things that remind us of our past wounding because they're also wounding us. So that's something I really need you to know, because a lot of clients come to me and they're like, oh, maybe I'm just taking it wrong because of my trauma in my childhood. I'm like, no, you're actually just very aware of it because of your trauma in your childhood. We got to stop blaming ourselves and gaslighting ourselves and abandoning the truth, okay? And number 3, memory loss. I'm going to explain why this happens. You'll get out of a narcissistic relationship, or you'll come to me while you're in one and you'll be like, Candace, I can't really remember it exactly the way it was, or maybe that's not how it was, or you know what, I just don't remember. It's been a couple of years. Because when you're in survival mode, which is what you're in when you're in a toxic relationship, what happens is cortisol is in your brain. And when cortisol goes into your brain because of that fight, flight, or freeze response that is now consistent, it's consistently happening to you, the cortisol freezes your memories. And so what I like to do with clients when we do one-on-one is I like to do this thing called the healing of memories, the melting of memories. We need to start melting your memories by making you feel safe inside yourself. So long that narcissistic person was your safe zone. They were your safety. They were your protector. They were what made you feel validated. And now it's the opposite. Now you don't even feel safe in your own body. So the cortisol, when you start to feel more safe and you start understanding these things and we start to go through the aspects of the relationship and you start to reclaim parts of yourself that have been on hold, on pause, in the shadow, denied from you to stay in this relationship, right? We always deny our truth on some level to stay connected. You don't need to stay connected. You don't need to leave yourself to stay connected. You need to reclaim yourself to release the cortisol in your body and in your brain, to have full access to your brain and your memories and your empowerment. So I'm going to go over these things again. First thing, when you get weaker, they get stronger. Second thing, self-doubt sets in. You start questioning your perception about everything and questioning life. And number 3, you don't know your memories. You have lost some memories. So if this is you, it's because you've been in trauma. A lot of people come to me that have had childhood trauma or teen trauma or early year trauma, right? And what happens is they don't remember their childhood. They remember things. That's because of the trauma that needs to be resolved and dissolved and integrated. When we do the deep dive into your inner child work and we finally integrate him or her for the last time in a way that really sticks, you start to feel safe in your body because you're no longer separated from that deep part of yourself. You're no longer in constant abandonment of your inner child. You've welcomed it in. You're totally available for him or her. And guess what happens? You are safe. Your inner child feels safe because you're listening to him or her. You're listening to your needs again. You're listening to your boundaries again. And you're actually having that discernment. You're having that autonomy come back in, and that's when we start to feel safe. So walking through this back to the aligned action steps that are in alignment with you feeling safe, not you feeling safe in a toxic relationship. If you have questions about this, please just comment below. You can always go to my website and get a free 15-minute consultation or sign up for a session or join the Truth Room. The Truth Room is at 50% off until March 7th because it's the founder's rate. After that, it goes up to full rate, but also we are going to keep it open until the end of March. For those of you who want your community to do this work on a weekly basis, please share this video with at least one person you think it could heal. I really love you guys, and I'm sending you so much light.